Back in the game and well at the top, a king of the ring and calling my spots. I'm raising the bar to crank it a notch. I'm full of mistakes, cause life is a botch. Lights can get brighter and brighter. I walk through that curtain, my levels get higher and higher. Studied the best, in this generation I'm next. Super kid party, no doubt we just hit a suplex. Hooker by crook, survive if I let you.
What's happening, everybody? It's your boy, the Prince of Botch himself, Dwayne, in the building. Welcome to the Lights of Botch podcast, where all things is about, being a botch in life. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how we do. Y'all know the daily routine. What it is, man. What's going on? This is an episode that is going to be strictly, dedicated to the indie scene. Where we just actually talking about the independents and Lord knows what else. You already know I got my partner in crime with me. Y'all see the man. Y'all see what's going on. Y'all know my favorite villainous, my tag team duo. You know what I'm saying? My oos with the juice. All them things, man. Y'all know about it. Y'all know my brother Josh from Gresh Unleashed, Gresh Digital. So many things that revolve around the brand and the name Gresh. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all welcome my boy Josh Gresh back in the building. Josh, what's happening?
Hey, yo, it's your boy Joshy G, aka Gresh, aka Mr. Not Steal Your Girl. What's going on?
Welcome back, my brother. I feel like it's been a minute since we did this as a link up, my guy. So it's always good to have you back, man. And yeah, bro, how you been, man? How things been going with you with the Gresh brand lately, man?
Oh man, it's so much, so many moving parts that I'm doing, and as a man of one, I already made a proclamation that I need a team. I need to build a team, like a legitimate team, because doing this, trying to do this, doing the YouTube thing with the WWE games and all that stuff, trying to do that as well as do a podcast and do other ventures is kind of a headache.
Yeah. You know what? I feel that, bro. You know what? I know I said we talked about indie scene, but you know what? That actually might be more fitting. Let's talk about this 2K gaming life, man. How has things been? I mean, because let's see, we're in May now. By the time this probably releases, if it doesn't release on time, Lord knows what time of year it'll be by then. But still, it's been a while, been a few months now since the initial release date. How have you been feeling and liking the content? Have you gotten bored yet compared to what it was doing 19 for darn near 2 years? Like, how are you feeling right now in the 2K world?
I've been using WWE 2K19 for 3 years now.
3 years.
And I was so dehydrated for new content, and I'm like, as soon as 2K22 hit, I'm like, yo, please let it hit different. That's their tagline. It hits different. Like, please actually hit different. Please don't fumble like 2K20.
Mm-hmm.
God, that was a literal black hole for all content creators. Was WWE 2K20. Shouts out to Vibe. Like, they kept that thing going for as long as they did.
Mm-hmm.
But man, I am telling you right now, as I'm attacking these gnats in my atmosphere right now, I wanted to attack 2K20 with literally, like I've said this countless times. If you follow me where I'm at, I've literally 2K20 literally almost made me quit YouTube, and it was like I was literally about to start accepting jobs on set and jobs on at my old job. I'm like, I can't do this no more. I can't do it. Then the pandemic hit, and I focused heavily on the podcast, and I just say, okay. But then shouts out to the modding community, because PW mods, they kept the game, like they kept reinventing the wheel. Even like 2K20, they say that's just a dead game. Like it was too many glitches to even mod. That's how bad it was.
Yeah.
So it got to the point where they just said, you know what we're gonna do? We're just going to mod 2K19. It's easy to mod. We can do this. So they kept that ball rolling. So I started learning the basics of modding. Like I can change the graphics. I can import characters from using their tools, and I just invented my wheel. Like like for those of you who follow the Gresh channel, I was doing universe mode content. Like I was playing it. I was doing it. It was fully customizable. I was basically treating it like it was an actual WWE production. And I just said, you know what? Let me put my own flip on it, because people were still doing it as well. People was doing Raw, people was doing SmackDown, NXT, and I'm like, this is let me just do something that I'm I would personally vibe with, and
Mm-hmm.
I said, okay, let me create WWE Carnage. Like this, where the concept is I'm going to merge all the titles. It's going to be one set of titles. I'm going to create chaos. I'm going to like everywhere it turns, it's organized chaos. Like that was my tagline, like, explosive chaos, because I was in your face. Shouts out to Simply Better AM for providing the theme song. Way Up is on his The Adventures of AM and Britton Miles. That
Mm-hmm.
song was a bop. I said, bro, do you mind if I use this song? He said, yo, use it. I don't care. Just use it. And I said, and I used it. And the way that I was doing production wise, like when the pandemic hit, when the height of the pandemic hit, I was able to create or to buy a lot of templates and a
Mm-hmm.
lot of tools that I can actually evolve my editing skills. So as the episodes grew, I think I'm on episode, shoot, let me pull it up right now. I think I'm on episode, I think 40, or like
Okay.
I produced 40 episodes of this crap. And I say crap
Sheesh.
because I say I call everything crap, but I produce 40 episodes of this stuff. So that's what I'm like, let me verify. I think it is.
Yeah.
I think it's 40. I
Sounds
think it's
about
40.
40
Yeah,
episodes.
34.
Okay. Cool. Okay.
So
Huh.
in 34 over the span from 2019, well, no, 2020 to now. So
Mm-hmm.
it took it so 2 years. 2 years, 30 episodes, over an hour. It kept my channel alive. It was basically an apology for people, because at one point I turned my entire channel to a podcast channel, and a lot of people was like, you shouldn't have did that, because that killed that for a moment. It killed my channel. It legitimately killed my channel. I was just so over the games. I was like, I didn't do it right. So what I did was I did the whole modded universe mode stuff, and I'm like, okay, this is getting traction. Let me stick with this for a while. And now that we're on 2K22,
Mm-hmm.
I might have to pull back on that again, and not the way that I did. I have a strategy with it, because I've been talking with BDE. He was actually on my podcast. You can check it out if you want.
Mm-hmm.
And we was just talking about it, and he was asking me. He was like, "You can do so much more." He's younger than me. I got this kid in his 20, and he's 22.
Come
I
on.
got this kid speaking life into me, and I'm like, I normally don't take advice from kids younger than me, but then at the same time, I'm like, you got to check your ego at the door, because this kid knows more than you. This kid
Yeah.
has 600,000 plus subscribers on YouTube, and he got that he got to 600,000 within the span of a year.
Sheesh.
He's been doing
Wow.
it. He's been grinding. I'm not gonna say it just happened within the span of a year, but he just it was a year of him studying and really breaking down the algorithm of YouTube. And he was like, bro,
Mm-hmm.
people's attention with the rise of TikTok, people's attention span is declining. Like people are
Mm-hmm.
not going to be able to sit through an hour long video, even
Mm-hmm.
no matter how much time and effort you put into it. People are not going to sit through it. They're not going to
Mm-hmm.
want to. So what you got to do is literally, legitimately, just do what can grow your channel. Because shouts out to Merce YT13, because he was doing something similar. We like fully customized stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He completely killed the universe mode on his channel, and now he does a lot of booking videos. Like he if you go to YouTube, he booked the this is how I will book Cody Rhodes return to WWE. That thing got 100,000 plus within the span of a week. And then he booked the this is how I will break up the bloodline. And that
Mm-hmm.
thing right now, that was literally less than a week ago. It is close to 200,000 views.
See. Wow. Look at that.
He hit the SEO running. And when BDE he hit me up, I told him, I said, what I will not do is I will not completely kill universe mode, because that will
Mm-hmm.
be a slap into the people who actually enjoys my content,
Mm-hmm.
because I bring my own blackness to it. Like I'm not out here making quotes or whatever. I make it seem like it's legit, but you would I use it as a marketing tool for me to work on my voiceover, my commentary, because I be calling moves. I be a one man booth. I be the Joey Styles of universe mode, because it's just me.
Come on, man.
So it's like, okay, what can I do to enhance my presence in this community? Because the last universe mode video I did, I got 5,000, and then one after that, it just hit 1,000 2 weeks after the upload. So I said, okay, what do I need to do to not kill this channel, but to grow it. And I hit up my boy. I said, what if I do a what if series? Like I was watching What If.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I'm just going to throw this idea out. I might end up doing it. So it is what it is. I said, like one of my first rough drafts was, what if Umaga defeated John Cena at the Royal Rumble?
Mm.
How would
Okay.
that, and what I would do is like, what, and that concept is, okay, I changed the outcome of the 2007 Royal Rumble, and I book from the Royal Rumble with Umaga as champion all the way to WrestleMania.
Mm.
So that means John Cena and Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania doesn't happen.
Come on.
So that means
Ooh.
you have to flip it. So that's the way my brain is working now with the What If series. And then I told him, I said I might tap into the booking, like how I will book,
Mm.
like how would I revitalize the United States Championship? How would I revitalize the Intercontinental Championship? How will I revitalize the women's division?
That's Gary, that's a good one. I'm sure the women would love and appreciate you for that, boss. I'm sure they would tune in for that a lot. I'm gonna touch on that real quick with your what if idea. Now that's super cool because I remember we had a while back we had a conversation, which I brought up. What if WWE had a multiverse, right? Who would you pull from it and things like that? So that's kind of cool that you tied into that because WWE games, some games did have kind of like a what if scenario, like where like you would reverse the outcome a little bit, but it didn't fully go too deep like how you're thinking like what if does with the Marvel universe and things like that. So that's a dope idea personally that I would say I think fans definitely would love tuning into that because there are, if you think about it as wrestling fans, we do sit back and kind of think sometimes like, man, what if, like, I would do one with Capital Punishment? Like, what if R-Truth won the WWE title from John Cena? And then how that would have probably like turned out from there.
Knowing me without spoiling, because I might actually take that idea and just give you credit for it. But
Hey.
knowing me, I would probably merge Little Jimmy with his Ron Killings gimmick when he first won the NWA title, when he was like anti discrimination or something like that. I might tap into that. So it's
Okay.
like it's little stuff like that. I'm like, because I got to use this encyclopedia of wrestling in my brain for something, and it's like, as much as I have fun with the whole universe mode stuff, it does get tiresome because when you break down the analytics of YouTube, you can have an hour-long video and people at average watch 6 minutes of it.
Yeah, that
So
sounds about right.
So when you do that and you try to break down analytics and revenue, if you're getting monetized and all that stuff, your video is probably making $20. Whereas if you have a 15-minute video and people watch at average 10 minutes, and then you get them to click back, because sometimes you always got to get that retention as well as them to click back, or the high peak moment. If you can get them to do that with the 15 to 20-minute video, if you want to talk money, you just by off the top of my dome, you probably get $50 from the video. You see how that increased?
That increased. I see what you did there with the flip like that, and then and it just goes back with each, amount of time because, like you said, 15 minutes, average 10. Do a 10-minute video, average 5. And then you're getting.
Sometimes you might get the whole videos because you never know, because
True.
and it's all about how you structure your video. So my goal is, while I plan on restructuring my channel, like this video got like for the universe mode, I just literally earlier today I finished commentary for the King of the Ring, for a King of the Ring video. With the King of the Ring by itself, I already know that's going to bring attention because it's King of the Ring. There's fans of King of the Ring. They're going to watch it, and both videos are an hour. My goal is what I did was, I did this on purpose by design. I left the door open. I left it cracked to where it's like I wrapped up storylines, but I left it cracked open to where, like, hey, if we want to revisit this in the future, full throttle again, the door is open. That's what I wanted. And the reason why I did that on purpose, because I'm like, I don't want you guys. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to release one more video after this one with the series, but I'm also working towards getting videos to where I'm going to start introducing the what if and the this is how I will book such and such. And the reason why I'm doing that, I'm doing that because I want them to get a taste like, hey, this is what I'm leaning into. This is what I'm leaning into. And then obviously the my GM stuff, I'm leaning into that and I'm leaning into that. So it's like I want to do that while not burning the bridge again with my viewers, if that makes sense.
Makes total sense. And
That
that is some wise analytics to break down because to somebody who's a YouTuber up and coming, that say they play wrestling games on a regular basis, even with some of the retro games, the SmackDown versus Raws or the No Mercies, and they want to get into that of being able to create like that. Talk to them about how do they even get started, like with these different ideas to separate themselves from people like yourself or BDE who do these.
the big things.
Yeah.
I would say like if you're trying to go retro, I would say establish yourself as retro. Like I'm not saying upload videos every day. That's not how it works. What you
Mm-hmm.
need to do is you need to take the time to study your SEO, study the analytics of what you're trying to push out, and actually, well, look at your game, look at the structure of your game. As the games that you just brought up, there's not that much you can do by yourself. You have to be. I feel like if you're doing retro games, you have to have a friend. You
Mm-hmm.
like at least a friend, like do like I will say tap into the live stream industry. Shout out New Legacy
Mm-hmm.
Inc. They do a lot of live streams with with retro games like SmackDown versus Raw 2006 or
Mm-hmm.
SmackDown Here Comes the Pain. And the reason
Mm-hmm.
why it works for them is because it's more than one person. It's literally a community. It's John Blood, Duel, Slip, just to name a few. It's so many people. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like it's. I think when they did like the a Royal Rumble type marathon video, I think
Mm-hmm.
it was a total of 8 people on their team. I could be wrong, but it was literally up there. So that's what I'm saying. If you're doing anything like retro and stuff like that, I
Mm-hmm.
would suggest getting you a partner or partners that has this that are on the same page with you to kind of get you up and going. And actually, when I say study, like study clickbait because
Mm-hmm.
not all. Shout out to Phoenix Nitro. I was listening to one of his spaces, and he was like, "Not all clickbait is bad.
Mm-hmm.
Clickbait, you want people to click on your videos. You want people's attention. But what
Right.
you don't want to do is burn the bridge to where you clickbait and it's just not what the title is.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever the title is, make sure the video the concept of the video matches the title and make sure it's clickable to where like say I played WWE SmackDown. I played SmackDown versus Raw. Here comes the pain, or SmackDown. Here comes the pain. Here's how it went. Or in my case, when I played WWE 2K22 online, I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't expect. I originally put WWE 2K22. I played WWE 2K22 online. Here's how it went. The
Mm-hmm.
video bombed the first day. What I did was the second day, I renamed it. I said WWE. Matter of fact, let me pull it up right now. I said WWE 2K20. No, 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 no. I'm all over the place. I said I nearly rage quit WWE 2. I nearly rage quit WWE 2K22 online. Here's why. My thumbnail was Roman Reigns beating or hitting a Superman punch on my call, and my facial reaction, because my face is synonymous with the channel, was
Mm-hmm.
this. I was raging like what is going on, and that went from 200 the first day to 1.3K within 12 hours because it was
Wow.
clickbaitable. So whenever someone and that is another thing that's that not so to start with your first point, when you
Mm-hmm.
ask someone who wants to do retro stuff, I always say, because a lot of people aren't really searching for the retro games, I always say start off with get someone, or at
Mm-hmm.
least have yourself to where you have a big enough personality where once you study your SEO and you study analytics, you can actually try to be entertaining. Like you can tackle your title can be clickable, your thumbnail can be clickable, but if the video sucks, ain't
Mm-hmm.
nobody finna come back and watch your video. Let's just be
Okay.
real. If you have no energy, no personality, If you just let's just be real, let's just be blunt. If you suck butt cheeks, ain't nobody finna come back.
And you want you definitely want them to come back. So
You want them to come back, and you want them to stay. Like if the video sounds boring, like dry. I'm not even talking about dry humor, like just dead up dry to the point where I'm like, why am I wasting my time? This is literally not for me. Then don't even waste your time. But be entertaining as well. But also, my second point would be is make sure, and that's something that I had to pick up. I had to learn myself. Make sure that you establish what your channel is all about. Like what I mean by that is don't be all over the place. Sometimes some variety channels work, but it still has to be the same genre. So I'm not saying, so like if you want to tap into the new games as well as the retro games, make sure it's wrestling. Or if you want to tap into online streams, make sure it's whatever game it is, because you don't want to confuse your audience. That means you have to work extra hard and all this stuff. I tried that, doesn't work. So you see what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
yeah, that's basically what I mean by that. So if you're trying to start a YouTube from the ground up, consistency. I don't mean upload 24 every 2 videos a day. I mean, you be consistent. You upload. You establish an audience, and once you establish an audience, you establish yourself with an upload day, and you try your very best to meet that upload deadline. If not, make sure you communicate in your YouTube community tab. I think they said they're going to decrease the number that you have before you get that community tab. I didn't get that tab until I hit 1K in 2019. So now I'm sitting at 4K. So my goal is, and also create goals, whether it's short term or long term. Create you some goals. My goal is to hit 10K by the end of the year. Will it happen? I don't know. It depends on the grind. But it's like you also have to do a lot of stuff and just study stuff. Really study stuff and really establish yourself in whatever community you're trying to be in, whether it's Fortnite, WWE games, wrestling games, classic games. I always tell people right now, try to find your niche, because with WWE 2K22 happening and it's still a fun game, it's going to be kind of hard to stand out. You really going to just really just go balls to the wall.
And that's good. You know, I'm glad you actually mentioned that too, because now I was going to actually transition in the subject of these wrestling games. You know, wrestling fans have been craving so hard for a legit good wrestling game, right? Given that you think back to the SmackDown versus Raw era on down, that era just seemed to be like one of the golden ages of wrestling games. And so here we are. You know, the 2K series started off kind of cool, but then it got a little repetitive. And like you said, the dark ages apparently is 2K20 and how bad and just glitchy that game has been.
Some people would say the dark ages was 2K16 to 17.
Okay, 16 to 17.
Some people say the dark age really started was 2K15 with how empty the game was. That was their first game on next gen, and I was one of the people who got on next gen, and I was over that game within the span of 6 months.
Wow.
And that was because I was streaming it on Twitch. Like I started on Twitch, like most people. I was just streaming it to one viewer, which was probably my mom or my sister, one of the two.
Yeah.
It was just them watching. It was literally one viewer. I wasn't talking. I was just playing footage. I was just playing it. I was like, it was just me just being a ghost. I was like, I had the stable internet. I said, let me just go live on Twitch. And I was live on Twitch, and then I just so happened to start the 2KP games at the time. That was before I established myself as Gresh. It was 2KP games. I was just exporting my Twitch streams to YouTube. They may still be up. They may not be. I haven't really looked that far back. I might take them down because they're not really adding or subtracting to my channel, because they're literally just sitting there at like 1 or 2 views. It's like once I started doing that and actually started taking it serious, like really started doing voiceover, and I started studying people like Dale Zinski and eventually Merce YT13. And I was like doing, as far as from the universe point of view, I started doing that. And it's like I feel like I finally got my niche when I established myself as Gresh, simply just Gresh, not 2KP games, not Gresh Digi games, just Gresh. Like, hey, this is me. This is me just BSing around. Just me. I established my brand, and then I established like, hey, I can do other things. I can do voiceover. I can do podcasting. Like people telling me from when I was 15 years old, hey, you got a voice for a podcaster. I tried to be a rapper at one point. You will never hear that song because it is deleted and it will never see the light of day again. That's how bad it was. I was trying to
Oh
do everything.
man.
I started from to give you guys a history lesson. I was literally doing the entertainment thing since I was 5 years old. I was thrown on the
Yikes.
stage by my mama in the church, and
Mm-hmm.
I went from being in the kids choir to being on stage at a church play that was successful in the late 90s, early 2000s. Then I ventured off and doing my own thing, and then I always led me back to doing something in entertainment, whether it's behind the scenes or in front of the stage. The
Mm-hmm.
whole hip hop dancer era. Then I attempted some acting. I was in some skits that probably won't see the light of day either, because that was under the old brand. That was just me just talking in and me being basically ignorant. It wasn't nothing cancel culture like or cancel
Mm-hmm.
culture driven, but it was just like from my mental health, my mental perspective now to back then.
Mm-hmm.
I always sit there, I'm like, what the heck were you doing, son?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know how every time you evolve and you study whatever craft you're in, you look back at your old footage, you be like, ugh.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like if I look back at my 2K18 videos, my
Uh-huh.
commentary where I sound like I was whispering, like, "Oh my god, this is so strong, this is so good," to now where I don't even care if I project my words. I'm like, "Oh my god, this happened." And sometimes the longer the videos too, and that's another reason why I'm tapping into the shorter videos. These long videos be killing my voice. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard being a talker, man. Our
Especially when
profession,
you're
man.
trying to call matches
Yeah.
in these games. And that's another thing about when you're a solo person producing these universe mode or these WWE 2K videos, when you
Mm-hmm.
have to pretend that you don't know the outcome.
Mm.
Like I edit everything from top to bottom, but then now I have to go back. I have to pull myself from the video, mentally reset to act like I don't know the finish of the match. So I have to pretend like, oh my god, he won the match. I already knew.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
lot of people don't know the behind the scenes of how these universe modes. They're like, oh, when's the next universe mode? I'm like, bro, you don't understand the mental toll that this thing takes on me sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Like these two videos that I finally finished, I had this done 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
I
bro.
just had to find my time and my mental space to actually do it and actually record, because I'm like, record, and that brings you back to your earlier question.
Mm-hmm.
How is it creating content on WWE 2K22?
Mm-hmm.
It is fun from a perspective of being a daily upload type of content creator. Like, hey, I want to collab with a content creator and upload a video, and like, hey, let's let the AI, let's do like a 8-man tag where the AI, where I pick a team and you
Mm-hmm.
pick a team, and let's do the AI, and the winner gets to decide the loser's punishment.
Mm-hmm.
It works in that capacity. But when you're trying to do things in high, like where you incorporate highlight reel into matches, where you incorporate this and that and the third, where you do full productions. If you ever
Mm-hmm.
look at my video, my videos, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You try to do full productions. Doing it on 2K22, it's a headache. You have to do a lot more syncing. Sometimes the highlight reel doesn't sync with or the highlight reel is either too fast or too slow, or sometimes the highlight reel doesn't upload right. Like, let's be real, WWE
Mm-hmm.
2K22, it's a fun game, but it's still got a
Mm-hmm.
lot of bugs. It still has a lot of bugs that needs to be
A-
patched.
As
And
most
instead of
2K games,
yeah, so it's
they.
it's a lot of bugs. Like, is it 2K20? No, it's 2K22. It's a nice restart. Like, they're going in
Okay.
the right direction. If they keep doing this, because I was not expecting them to patch in a whole arena
Mm-hmm.
in one of their latest updates. We couldn't even get them to patch gameplay in older games. So for them to patch in a full arena, full graphics, full everything, like, they basically just gave
Mm-hmm.
you a free DLC. They gave us NXT 2.0 in the update. So at first it was just the
Wow.
black and
Okay.
gold. So they gave us NXT
Mm-hmm.
2.0 in the update. So I'm like, yo, if this is the goodwill that you're trying to work for, keep doing that. But multiply that by fixing your gameplay.
Agreed. I can see
And
that.
so far, they're trying. They're so far from the time of recording this, they haven't burned too many big bridges. I mean, they're trying to block modding in this game. I mean, I get it. It's their game, is what it is. But it's like, come on, modding was the lifeblood of 2K19 when 2K20 went to drizzling crap.
Yeah, no, true. Because I don't know what makes any game developer do that. Because these developing companies, man, modding is what really keeps them afloat. Because you get tired of the same old thing. Like people beat stuff so quickly, and they accomplish things solo and 100% so quickly. What else is there left to do other than mod to try to make it re-interesting? So I agree with that, man. They gotta not do that. That's a major no to do.
It's like their communications is a little iffy right now, and because I'm good friends with a lot of people who are in there. You know, they got this 2K next gen makers or these next makers or something like that, or
Mm-hmm.
it's like they get early access to a lot of things before everybody else do, or whatever
Mm-hmm.
the case may be. Or they're like they're like the leaders of the community for 2K, where they're the direct contact between them and the consumer. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, when I was talking to them, they was like, and one of the 2K next makers was one of the leaders of the mod group that I mentioned, PW Mods, and they was like, "Yo, you're in public, you're telling me this, but then in private, you're trying to keep us from modding the game. We're not hackers." They're trying to say that
Mm-hmm.
they're hackers. We're not hacking the game. We're doing everything to where we're not completely altering your licenses. That's what they're saying. We're
Yeah.
doing this to where, hey, we're just trying to add to your game. We're trying to
Mm-hmm.
add characters. Like, hey, you can't get these characters in the game. Okay, let us mod the character in for you. They don't for
Mm-hmm.
DLC. They don't have Carmelo Hayes, but you got some of the modders working on a Carmelo Hayes mod that actually works like an actual character.
Mm. You need that. That's a
You need that, so people like, because we don't know when 2K23, if 2K23 is coming out. I doubt
mm,
it'll come out this year because we just got this game this year.
just got this one.
You're not gonna get me to buy this game 2 games in the same year. That's just ludicrous, and that's bad
Yeah.
practice
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you already had me separate with. I think I paid for the NWO edition because I just wanted everything. I don't care about Terry, but I care about the Wolfpack.
Yeah. For
Um,
sure.
I basically was like, okay, let me get that, and I'm like, that was nearly $200. What makes you
Wow.
think I want to spend that again in the year
In a
within this
year.
year?
Yeah. Absolutely. No. Absolutely. It's just that's blasphemous to do that. So and they've never really just rushed games that quickly. So given what feedback they're probably getting from 22 versus to what they got with 20, you can tell 2K is realizing they got to take their time with the WWE ones. You can do that with the basketball games all day because it's pretty
Especially
simple.
with these releases messing
Mm-hmm.
up, because half of the characters that was available in 2K22 were
Mm-hmm.
release talent. From your Keith Lees to your Karrion Cross to your Kyle O'Reilly's to Scarlett Bordeaux to all these
Yeah.
people that were released during the pandemic, or at least during the closing moments of the closed part of the pandemic, because we're still in the pandemic. Well, I don't
Yeah.
care what nobody say, but the
Mm-hmm.
closed parts, the latter parts of the pandemic, like 2021, 2020, all those people
Mm-hmm.
are still there.
Yeah. This is true.
And it's like, and I think MSK is going to be a DLC as well. And I know they got rid of Nash. Was
Nash
it
Carter.
Nash Carter?
Yeah, Nash Carter. Yeah. Yeah,
So
that's
it's like 2K22 is outdated. Let's be real. It's outdated, but it's still fun.
and that's the beauty of the mods though. Again, that just adds to the point of why it's fun to mod because when it's
Like
outdated, y'all can update.
Edge just cut his hair on Raw.
Yeah, you did.
They can mod a short hair Edge for you if you can't get an updated Edge for the game. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
that's just for PC. Like, we're not saying upload the mods to community creations, because that'll just crash people's games. We
Mm-hmm.
talking about, like, for PC, like, don't make it complicated for us to mod, because let's be real, as content creators, I would love to play a modded 2K22 for
Mm-hmm.
content. But I also, the beauty behind cross community creations,
Mm-hmm.
some of as long as I played this game, Xbox all players always had better cause created wrestlers than PS4 or PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
So now that we have cross community platform, we can dazzle into their beautiful creations. We
True.
couldn't do that before. So
That's
it's like once they get the community, like the communication established in this
mm-hmm.
new era of 2K WWE games within the 2K banner,
Mm-hmm.
it should be good. And then also we got other games coming out. AEW Fight Forever.
Yeah, that was a good transition. I wanted to get into some of that as far as to what you were looking forward to, because another thing, and you could call it like a two-part kind of question to break down, but like as we touched on, somebody that's new starting out, you touched on the retro side of things as far as if you want to go that lane. But if it's somebody like yourself who's been known for the 2K franchise games, how do you feel about some of these upcoming wrestling games like the AEW Fight Forever, which a lot of wrestling fans are excited to see? What was your thoughts on like the recent video play when they introduced Chris Statlander and how she ended up going against Nyla Rose like that? And then how do you feel about somebody that is known for one brand but going over to AEW or the Wrestling Code when that comes out?
If that comes out.
If it comes out.
That to me, it goes back to what we was talking about offline.
Mm-hmm.
Communication. Like communicate with your audience. Like, hey, I'm still going to produce these WWE games, but
Mm-hmm.
this new game comes out and there's some traction behind it, and it looks fun. Do
Mm-hmm.
you guys want to, like, that's where you establish, like, hey, do you want to go the route of, hey, let's do a video, let's test this video out and see how it goes. And
Mm-hmm.
then if you guys enjoy it, like, keep your structure, like keep your structure how you have your other videos. But then but switch it up to the AEW, like, hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Let's check out this new game, AEW Fight Forever. It just dropped. Let's check it out and see how it goes. And you play like whatever modes they have, because they haven't even announced any modes yet. Whatever modes they have, play through and then kind of get a feel for it, and then give your thoughts on, and say, if you guys want to see more of this, let me know down in the comments, and keep it interactive, keep the communication open. Like, hey, do you guys want to see this? Do you guys want to see more of this? And also, I always suggest incorporate live streams. Like, the live streams are there. Once you tackle the whole copyright thing with the music, and you can make your live streams fun without doing all this other music, then you should be good. Then you should be then the mode, or them you into doing other games, won't annoy your viewers, your loyal viewers, if that makes sense.
Makes total sense.
Because you don't like, it's all about not burning that bridge. Don't burn the bridge with your viewers, because they are your lifeblood in YouTube. Like, don't piss them off to where they feel insulted or feel like they're wasting their time. Just just keep the communication open, and then let's see how that goes.
Love it. I love it. So with that Fight Forever, how have you been feeling about some of those actual, not only just the screenshots, but of course the actual updated videos they've been showing, slowly letting you know what you're in for? Like, how have you been seeing that?
It looks better than when they first showed us with that Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega, like where it looked like action figures more so than a video game.
No Mercy come to
Yeah,
life. Yeah.
it looked weird, but then when I saw the updated models, I'm like, okay, this is getting in a good direction. This is about 40% done, because I know it was a rumor. They was like, oh, they're looking to release it by All Out this year. I'm like, no, release it by All Out next year. Do not rush it. This is one game, because you only got one shot. Let's be real. Like, make this the most perfect game you can think of. You got one shot to get this game right, because you're a new company, 3 years in the biz. You don't your GM game that you had on your mobile, I played it a little bit, but I forgot it was on my phone until they let me know, hey, you got to update. I'm like, oh, I forgot this game was on my phone. It's not my cup of tea. Me playing a mobile game is not my cup of tea. I don't go anywhere that the only time I see myself playing mobile games is if I go somewhere where I'm bored and I need something to do. I'm not. That was when I was younger. I'm older now. I don't do bored. I make myself busy. So I'm not going to sit down and play the game unless I just like, and I don't even have a way to stream it. I know some people, it's a way you can stream a mobile game, but I don't even have a way to stream it on Twitch to where it's like I can make it interactive. So it's like, I'm not going to waste my time on it.
Makes sense.
But so that's why I'm like, this game they need to knock it out of the park. Like I don't mind it being I don't know and the way I look. I know I saw some people like oh it looks cheap. If you're going into this game looking for a 2K presentation, you are setting yourself for disappointment.
Mm-hmm.
I tell people that all the time. Like, go with low expectations to where you don't feel like you're wasting your like it like don't waste your time. Like you're setting yourself up for failure. Do it like like I watch wrestling every week. I
Mm-hmm.
watch it with low expectations. I expect to be disappointed, and they either knock it out of the point or they prove me right.
Mm-hmm. No, this is true. That's true.
Don't go into Monday Night Raw thinking you're gonna get a 3-hour extravaganza. You're gonna barely get it. Don't go into AEW thinking you're gonna get a lot of high end storytelling.
Yeah,
You're not gonna get it all the time. So it's
not at
like
all.
just go in with low expectation and expect to get knocked out of the park. Because if you go to anything with high expectations, you're setting yourself up for failure.
Totally agree, man. And this is why I do remember what was the Chris Statlander one they did was nice. I like the one they did with Darby, where I saw his look and was like, okay, like the presentation of the looks definitely looked nailed. Gameplay seems to be coming along pretty well from what I saw. There was one with the Chris Statlander one where I noticed threw a punch at Nyla Rose and Nyla didn't even flinch. That kind of had me stay like, huh? Yeah, you might want to go back and fix that.
Yeah, that's why I said that's why I said the game was 40% done, not 50, not 60. It was 40. Like they got the models down packed. I ain't gonna lie, the models are all the models that I've seen of the updated look outside of the very first look, but the updated look, it looks like okay, it's heading in the right direction.
Yeah,
and I believe there's a rumor that they're only going to have 50 superstars on the roster, which is it's understandable because this is a new game and they're using the AKI engine. So it's like there's only so much you can do on that, and then it's going to be available on all platforms, PC, PS. I think next gen. I don't know about last gen, which is PS4 and Xbox One, but it's going to be available on those two. I still got to get me a PS5. Like that's driving me nuts.
Yeah, me too, man. Honestly, if I had to guess, I would say it's probably not going to be on the previous gen because from shout out to OTS Media Co. Of course, our parent that hosts the Life's a Botch podcast here. They actually made an announcement about the upcoming Batman game, the Arkham.
Oh yeah, I saw that where they said it's not going to be current gen. It's going to be
because they're trying to give it the best look possible, and I guess it's so powerful that the last gen can't handle it. So
and they don't want to waste their time. Let's be real; they don't want to waste their resources on last gen. Like and that's what a lot of people going to have to look for. Is like, bro, we need to get these next gen because they're not. A lot of these games are not going to be last gen anymore. You're going to have to upgrade.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, and that's why I think they're definitely going to turn around and just say, you know what, let's just make this strictly PC and modern day gen because, like, it's a new thing, and by the time, like you said, if they wait till next year for All Out of next year, by then you would think most people should be close enough to having a new gen system of some sorts, because this holiday season you should see a lot more PS5s.
Yeah, by the time Black Friday hits, we should be getting a lot more selling of the PS5s, hopefully. And hopefully I get one.
Me too, brother. Hey, I'm with it. My Xbox One S,
hey man, if we get an Xbox One S, like bro, for those who follow Freepedia, we'll more likely probably be streaming more with that because we both have the same game system.
Oh yeah, we're working on it because I still haven't had the pleasure of like playing 2K22 yet, but you guys have. I've been keeping up with your content and some of the other content creators, and I'm leaning towards still possibly getting it despite the outdated roster per se. But like, I'm really waiting for AEW's game to drop because I really want to. I'm just waiting to have that one wrestling game I could play and love.
I always tell people if you're going based off the roster, the beauty behind once they get the glitch of the logo of the cause and all that stuff from community creations. That's what I'm saying. This game is literally the blueprint for what they need to fix. If they don't patch everything, I'll let you know. But they have so many good call makers out there. What's the status? All these good people who makes actual legit lifelike calls. And I try my best when I can to retweet them. so people who don't follow them, like, hey, I don't have a big following. I think I'm close to 1,000 on Twitter,
Mhm.
but it's like they don't have that many like a lot of people don't really pay that much attention. So I tried my best to retweet it because I'm like, hey, check this guy out. Like, and I try my best to use their calls in the videos so
Mhm.
that people can actually so people can like, hey, check this person out, like, yeah. And I try my best to let people know if I do like these type of sit down videos, I'm like, hey, shout out to this creator, so they can take it out or whatever.
Mm. Okay.
But and stuff like that, yeah, like if you're just going based off of the roster, you can always get some good calls, and then you can just play the game. The core game is fun.
Okay.
Once they iron out the glitches,
Hmm.
it's smooth selling. Like, this game could last the rest of the year, if not
Okay.
leaning into next year. If they don't release a new game, hopefully they don't release a new game. But yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Cool.
it should last. And then they got a few DLC. Like this next DLC, got the Boogeyman, Cactus Jack, Indy Hartwell, Ilya Dragunov from the NXT UK. So you
Hmm.
got some new people that you've never seen in the game before that you got in the DLC. So many, and then they just dropped the I guess the Samoan, or the what was it? It was a
Oh, the
refer
Samoan. I did see Rikishi post that. It was
is a
the
Rikishi. It was a name.
Samoan Dynasty or
It wasn't even
something like that.
Samoan Dynasty. It was like big. It was like the big man something, because they
Okay.
included Omos and Umaga
Oh.
and Yokozuna, and I'm
Okay.
like, and then for some reason Casey Catanzaro. I'm like,
Uh,
what in the
she's big at heart, I guess.
what in the for my say folks, what in the BBC is going on right here? Like,
I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, you're right. It's random to have all the big,
you got these big
large
beefy
people.
guys, and then you got a little bit right there. Like, what?
Okay, you know what I'm saying? Like,
She stuck out like a sore thumb, man. A
yeah,
sore thumb, and not in a good way.
it's like
I'm like,
you couldn't give us China
well,
or
which
you
China was
know.
already in the game, so
Okay, well, true, she was. So I mean, I don't know the next big woman. Then that was like a larger than life type. You can
you couldn't
get
give me Caden Carter.
true something
Like, you gave
anything.
me Casey Catanzaro, a girl that I'm probably going to use as a jobber in one of my videos. Well, you couldn't give me Caden Carter, someone I can actually use. Like, shout out Caden Carter. If you single,
Yeah,
let me know.
legit. But okay, so cool. Well, let's talk about this game that's not necessarily official, but if it does
The wrestling
actually end up
code.
becoming a goal, yeah. How do you feel? What is something, given how big the indie scene is, the independent scene, to these guys and girls that are literally wrestling like everywhere?
Well, I
Who are
don't
you
know if
looking
you
forward to?
know about the situation with Impact. Like, they originally signed a lot of people with Impact, but I think it's like a dispute right now where I think Impact probably pulled like all of their guys. So if
Mm-hmm.
you're signed with Impact, you can't be on the game because there's
Okay.
some miscommunication. I don't know. It's just a rumor right now, but it's like
Mm-hmm.
so many moving parts, and I'm like, from what I've seen, the footage, it's
Mm-hmm.
like it's decent. It's decent for an independent company, but I
Mm-hmm.
don't see this game dropping within the year or so. I see this like a 2024 game.
I'd be okay with that.
If it drops, and the reason why I say if it drops is because sometimes I try my best not to. Because there's so many game developers, indies, and all that stuff that's trying to get into the business
Mm-hmm.
of developing games. I try not to put them under pressure. So it's like, if it drops, cool. I'll check it out. Like, if it's not if it doesn't break the bank, like, I feel
Mm-hmm.
like since you're new, the game should be maybe $40.
I was thinking that. Yeah, usually that's about a good start off for independent games. Usually like $40, maybe even
Yeah,
30.
maybe 30. Like, 30, okay, but 40 is me being generous. But anything
Yeah,
above 40, you asking too much because you're a new game.
yeah.
But it's like, if it does drop on all these consoles, because so far the developer itself, they've released some games. It's not wrestling games, but they released some games under their repertoire.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, and I've not yet had the pleasure of playing any of them because I keep forgetting to buy it. But it's like, it's like, it's more so me just like, okay, let's wait and see, because so far I believe they've signed Kurt Angle,
Mm-hmm.
RVD. They got some
Mm-hmm.
nice legends, and then I think they had this plan where the DLC would be indie guys that you don't know about.
Okay.
So it's like they want to keep the game updated. So it's like it's a lot of promises, and I know one of the developers on there. He's in charge of the uh to wrap this up. He's in charge of like trying to create his own version of GM mode. I believe it's like promotion or something like that, virtual promotion or something like that. So he's trying to create his
Ah,
own stuff like that. So it's a
yeah.
lot of moving parts in there as well. But it's like in short, I would just say basically keep this keep your eyes open for it. I'm
Mhm.
keeping my eyes open for it, but I'm not finna put my name on the line and say, hey, you gotta go buy this game. It's not, I need to see more.
What independent talents would you throw in there as someone that you'd like to see in this?
Chris Bay,
Yes, agreed.
Alex Kane.
Ooh, definitely. Yes,
To be honest with
definitely.
you, and this is me, maybe my bias. Anybody black?
Tasha Steeles. All right, hey, let's go. You know what I'm saying? But she's with
Big
Impact. So.
Swole. Like
Big Swole, yeah.
it's so many black talented individuals, hit makers, formerly known as Hit Row.
Mm-hmm.
The chick that
Willow Nightingale. You know what I'm
Willow, the person that Bailey should have been.
saying?
There's so many people. Like
There's a lot. Yeah,
there's so many people, and it's like so many black people that I'm like, yo, y'all gotta turn. Like people think, oh, you bring race into it. Like, bro, I'm gonna tell y'all this right now. I don't care what you think, but
Mhm.
black people, they make anything better.
Oh yeah.
We got heart, we got soul, we got rhythm, we got blues, we got everything you need and desire more. So if you see us, if you have a problem with us being supporting our black people, that's not our problem. That's your problem because you're taking it out of context. We're supporting our
Mhm.
people, and I'm not saying I support all black people because some of these black people are stupid, but the
Mhm.
ones that I know that are genuine good people and that deserve the
Mhm.
world, those are the people I want to see in that game. If that game happens, like, yo,
Yeah.
reach out to your cheeseburger, reach out to all these people in
Yeah.
ROH, reach out to all these people who just got nice ice to them.
AR Fox.
AR
Shout
Fox,
out to
most
WWA for.
definitely. AR Fox. Like I
Yeah.
want to see AR Fox and Kill Switch or Swerve in the game
Mhm.
again. That's how
Yeah.
I feel.
Yeah. I agree. I totally agree. And that's the kind of stuff that makes me say, like, I hope this game does actually come in development because I think it's cool when you have different games and even what you said with the ideas trying to work on like create your own virtual promotion. Like think about how many actual gamers out there, content creators would create so many different promotions out there, and you'd be like, wow, let you
Oh, it's so
upload your
many
own
out there.
custom logo.
Like I don't have the time to watch a lot of these people because I
Mm-hmm.
try to tell these people all the time. I will try to spread the word, but I
Mm-hmm.
can't watch everybody's content because I won't have
Mm-hmm.
time to work on my own.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so many like there's so many call leagues out there that are doing a thing where they literally script match. Like they edit these matches into sequences that it shouldn't work, but it
Mm-hmm.
does. And I know 2K22 kind of killed the call scene a little bit because they got rid of custom interests. Like now you have to do the
Mm-hmm.
default interests that they put in the game, whereas
Oh,
you can't do it advanced anymore. And
oh, I
so
hate that.
it's like stuff like that they took out. It's like
Mm.
okay, damn.
That
So,
breaks my
but I
heart.
would tell, but 2K19 is on its last leg because I believe in June of next month they're going to kill online support for it so they can turn their full attentions to 2K22.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I tell people it's not like if you get 2K19 you better download everything you can because once June 30th hits it's a wrap. You can only do everything offline or you can mod it. You can mod it, but you just won't be able to do nothing online.
Dang, man. Yeah, that'll be. Ooh,
So
what a sad day.
it's so much that goes into it. It's like we can have a full conversation, but we're not gonna do that because I know once this recording ends, you have something else to do. So hit me with something. Hit me with something.
For sure, for sure. Absolutely, brother. I mean, so definitely you dropped a lot of dope knowledge to our content creators, and we're going to give them some more talk as we continue to get news feeds and updates. We'll be back with something like this similar. I hope y'all like this gamer talk because I've definitely wanted to touch into the gaming world of pro wrestling for a while. So y'all let me know. Shout out some content creators y'all want me to interview and bring on the show to, based off what they do. And we'll definitely keep this going, to talk wrestling games and the wrestling gaming community and different things like that. But of course, I got to put my guy on first with this talk because, Gresh Digital, man, you know what I'm saying? Gresh Unleashed, all these things, that's all Gresh. My guy puts in the work.
As well as Freepedia.
Freepedia, you already know.
Freepedia, baby.
Trust me when I say it's all a grind, and my boy grinds like none other. You know what I'm saying? So
working a daytime job, and because I tell my mom this all the time, I'm like, yo, if this YouTube stuff hit off to the point where I can make a living off of this, I'm gonna quit my job and I'm gonna do this full time. Like,
amen.
So it's
bro.
like, if y'all want me to do this full time, you just got to run my stuff up and share and spread the word. That's all I say.
Amen, brother. And you already know. Likewise, man. Just keep on running it up, guys and girls. We appreciate y'all for always supporting, always.
And if you're watching on YouTube and I keep swatting around, it's because it's gnats in my freaking house, and they all up in my face. They are attracted to light for some reason. Good Lord.
What can we do? What can we do? You should probably get one of those little electric buzz things in there to kill them.
I do need to get one. I'm when I get my car tomorrow, I'm going to literally shop for everything anti-bug. I'm going to kill bugs left and right. Good Lord.
Yeah. Trust me, that way you may get annoyed from the buzz kills, but hey,
I don't care about that because I get pleasure in hearing their death. I want to hear them die. I want to hear every bug in my house die. So I want to hear the. I'm going to make a beat out of it.
Hey man, you already know, man. Listen, y'all. Speaking of beats, I just got to say, as your residential highlight reel, man, it is always a pleasure to customize and create personal themes that you can use originally for not only your wrestlers, but your storyline builds and all kinds of things like that.
Shouts out to this man. Like, he remakes Roman Reigns' Head of the Table. I still use that. People were like, yo, are you going to release that? I said, no, I will not, because that's a WWE song. It's a WWE song. It's a what they call it. It's a cover. It's literally... I can't release it. You can listen to it when you can. You did Bobby Lashley. I just started using that one. You did Bryan Danielson. I can't use that one because he's not in the game anymore. Right. But it's like stuff like that. I'm like, I try my best to edit his. I'm pretty much his wrestling editor unofficially. And it's just be something to kind of get me like, hey, like, I don't ask for a dime, and he doesn't ask for a dime, because it's like, bro, let's just get our names out there.
We just do it to get the name out there, have fun with it, and it's a pleasure, being an audio person, by musically, for your division, for your brand, to be able to just create these themes. I have fun with it personally. It's fun to just be able to create these things. So, like you, man, just a hardworking man, working the day job, but still doing what we love to do after working the day job, to just put the food on the table. You know what I'm saying? We're doing what we got to do, so we don't have to do this anymore. We're just on a full-time basis, what we actually enjoy. So, y'all keep it locked.
And the funny thing is, the way that I do my job, I finally got to the point where I actually enjoy that too, because I get to interact with new people and I get to network. So it's a lot that I can do. So it's like, I just want to create content full time. That's all it is.
Agreed. You and me both, brother. And we are very well on the step of the way. And shout out to you guys and girls out there listening and watching on all platforms, because without you,
the PG.
Hey, he did. He kept it PG, y'all. Hey, y'all got a round of applause for my guy. We're gonna give it to him straight chopper style with the pat on the back, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all already know, like, that's my guy. He does everything. I appreciate him doing that for me, not even just me, for himself as well, because even on his own content, he does his best to try to keep it PG for the kids, even though the kids start cussing themselves. But he does what he can.
You got to keep it PG for the revenue, like, ads. If you want to be sponsored, you got to try your best not to cuss as much.
Exactly.
As much as I cuss, the only thing I probably get sponsored by is Blue Chew, and I'm not going to promote Blue Chew to kids.
No, not at all. But nonetheless, we're definitely thankful. Gresh, my brother, always appreciate you, because, again, you always make this very entertaining on so many levels. But this was great conversation, great talk, to take a wrestling with a flip and actually take it into the form of the virtual world of the wrestling world. So looking forward to
indie wrestling. Like, we didn't forget about y'all. Like, yo, my goal is to at least attempt to train. Like
Should
let's go
we
ahead
make
and
that
make it.
official and tell them,
Let's go
bro?
ahead and make that official. We by the end of the year we're gonna at least try to train.
We're gonna at least try to train. So, ladies and gentlemen, you know, and assuming that this even drops at that time, by the time y'all might hear this, we might have already started our training process. You just never know. You never know. All day, every day, look out for the duo, not just in a podcast form, but actually in a physical form as we take that venture into indie wrestling and seeing what it works for. It doesn't work.
I might lariat your favorites. You never know. I might knee their heads off because I'm trying the style that I'm going for is gonna be something serious.
Oh yeah.
And plus, I'm a dick excuse me, PG. I'm a a-hole. I tried. I'm sorry. I'm an a-hole in character, so I know how to be a heel, but I can also be a babyface. But I prefer to be a heel because ain't nothing fun like making y'all kids cry.
You know, hey, listen. He's the dark, I'm the light. We get the yin and the yang feels, you know what I'm saying? You get the good cop, bad cop, dose of the die. You know, it just works. It works. It works.
But in all, just to give y'all a snippet, take us home, brother.
You know it, brother. Well, listen, y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Make sure you keep it locked with all things at the Life's a Botch podcast on Instagram. But most importantly, thank you so much for rocking with the platform behind the platform. OTS Media, baby. Make sure you head to all things OTS Media Co. on Instagram, on Twitter, and Facebook, man. Head to the website, www.otsmediaco.com. I also want to shout out our very first sponsor at the end of this very podcast. That's right, y'all. We got a sponsor right under the OTS Media Co. brand. We're talking about Champ #1 Boxers, a Black-owned, Atlanta-based brand where it's all about the undergarments, man. They are athletic underwear that comes in all different styles, but it is the most comfortable underwear you will ever have. I mean, I'm talking about legit. You can use it when you're working out. You can use it for your fashion, just to feel good as you're walking. All those type of things. They're just really dope, comfortable boxer briefs, fit for the fellas, and they got something for the ladies as well. But they also have other apparel. They got sliders. They got T-shirts. Go check out Champ #1 Boxers, man. If you head over to OTS Media Co., click the link in the bio. It'll take you straight to their website where you can check out what they have, their package deals, and all that good stuff. And maybe you can do it for the champ in your life. You know what I'm saying? Or become a champ yourself like me and my boy Gresh over here. You know what I'm saying? Nonetheless, shout out to Champ #1 Boxers, the #1 athletic and Black-owned boxer brand. That being said, y'all, hey, that's my boy Gresh. Gresh, tell them where they can find you and what you got coming up, my guy.
You can follow me on all social media platforms at Josh Gresham RG. I was thinking about changing my at some point, but for now I'm going to keep it the same at Josh Gresham RG. But if you want access to all my links, all my direct links is solo.to/Gresh. It is literally every time you see an account by me, because I only have 2 accounts. One is a BS account and one is me promoting account, but both of them is all under that link, solo.to/Gresh. Hey man, I'm always doing something. I can tell you, if I ain't doing nothing, I'm either sick or sleep.
You already know what it is. That right there says enough about that work ethic. You already know.
And even if I'm sick, I'm still gonna move.
Still gonna move. Because that's how we roll, baby. Mamba mentality, Jordan flu game, you name it, what it is. That's what we do, baby. We right here, ready to work and ready to go at all times. Rest in peace, Mr. Bryant. But still, all the ways, thank y'all so much for tuning in and rocking with us. As always, keep it locked with your boy. And always remember, I want y'all to throw up them 2 sweet signs, baby. And go one time with the 2 sweet. Peace.
Be crazy.
Catch y'all later now.